They came into this tournament winning 103.
Well, that's something these kids are going to remember.
Was the story yesterday, 60-50.
Kids.
Not only did they knock off number 1 to get here, they knocked off the number 2 team as well, Elkhorn Kimballton.
Well, that's a good ball club, and I think that surprised people and maybe got the attention of people as far as the Keota ball club was concerned when they had that first victory.
So it should be an outstanding matchup. Reporting activities right here on the floor during the game. We'll go to our colleague now, and I'd like to introduce you to, from KIMT in Mason City, Doug Burbach. Doug?
Thank you, Larry. As you mentioned, Colo had a couple of close games. They had a close one with Elkhorn Kimballton, a 2-point game there. And then yesterday, the 2-point win over Palmer, a history-making win. What will be interesting to see tonight, courtside here, is if Colo will be able to stay emotionally charged up for that. Of course, you've got to be emotionally charged up for any kind of state championship game. But when it's a history-making win like they had over Palmer, 2 points in the last minute, it's definitely going to be something to see here tonight if they can hold on and come back and do something with Colo NESCO. Now, right now we're going to go away to a commercial, so we'll be back with the starting lineups in just a moment.
The glacial lakes of South Dakota are filled with beautiful campgrounds and family recreation. The glacial lakes are also filled with some of the finest northern pike and bass lakes in the Midwest. To find out more about South Dakota fishing opportunities and a chance to win a free fishing weekend with Tony Dean on Lake Oahe at Mobridge, call 1-800-843-1930 or write South Dakota Tourism, Capitol Lake Plaza, Pierre, South Dakota, 57501.
This is Betty Johnson.
Hi.
And this is her twin sister, Barb. While they're identical, they have different phone needs, which is why they both have TeleChoice from US West Communications. With new TeleChoice, you can get the package you want from as many as 14 different phone services. Just call 1-800-242-5000. It's never been so easy or economical, whether you're Betty, a Betty, or a Barb. TeleChoice, new from US West Communications.
Well, Friday night high school basketball, it's been going on since December. The team started practicing back in October 15th, and here we are in the middle of March in Betts Auditorium, and it's Colo NESCO and Keota going at it for the Class A championship game. And it should be a good game. Colo NESCO goes 6'4" across the front line, or Keota does rather. Colo NESCO's not small themselves. They go 6'5", 6'3", 6'1". So we've got a couple of bangers out there. Both teams look relaxed here as they take their last warm-up shots in preparation to the starting lineup. Scott Breeze, the coach of Keota, said during the halftime interview earlier today he wants to get the ball more inside, so we'll see if that can happen tonight. Right now we're going upstairs to Larry Morgan and Gary Thompson.
Okay, Doug, thanks very much. Keota coming in with a record of 24-1. They shared the South Iowa Cedar Championship along with Montezuma. In fact, Montezuma was their only loss. As we take a look at the rest of the tail of the tape, Colo NESCO losing just twice, once to Hubbard Radcliffe and the other to a conference foe. So both teams coming in with glittering records and very similar stats.
You see it right there, 24-1, 24-2. Two ball clubs have played well, extremely well throughout the season. Good shooting clubs. Again, you look at the offense and defensive average. NESCO with a, well, they've got about the same margin, really, not too much, so they've dominated teams.
The Royals' other loss, in addition to that Hubbard Radcliffe loss, they lost to a 2A power, Ballard of Huxley, a team that made the final 8 in this tournament. So both teams have been well tested as they get ready for the biggest one of all, the championship game. Let's go down to Bud Bucher and the public address announcer.
It's time for basketball. This is the Class A game for all the marbles. The championship game 1989. On the scoreboard, the visitors from Keota, the Eagles. The home team on the scoreboard, Colo NESCO, the Royals. And now let's meet the reserves for the Keota Eagles. Number 45, Lee Dua. Number 15, Jeff Strauss. Number 43, Bill Kindred. Number 31, Brian Dahlquist. Number 21, Jeff Fair. Number 33, Scott Flynn. Number 41, Brian Greiner. Number 51, Brett Bell. Number 55, Kevin Jett. And the assistant coaches of the Eagles, Jim Gumbel and Bill Andrick. Now here are the reserves for Colo NESCO. Number 42, Jeremy DeWitt. Number 10, Matt Rasmussen. Number 54, Doug Leach. Number 12, Travis Wooster. Number 14, Wayne Larson. Number 20, Eric Jackson. Number 40, Jared Robinson. Number 44, Tony Dodd. Number 50, Aaron Dumdye. Number 52, Brett Burka. And the assistant coach of the Royals, Steve Lively. And now, here are your starting lineups. For the Eagles from Keota, at forward, wearing number 13, a 6'4" senior, Chad Reed. For the Royals, at forward, wearing number 34, a 6' sophomore, Nathan Breton. At forward for the Eagles, wearing number 35, a 5'10" senior, Doug Conrad. For the Royals, wearing number 22, a 6'3" senior, Chad Taylor. At center for the Eagles, wearing number 23, a 6'4" junior, Eric Bombi. For the Royals, at center, a 6'5" junior, wearing number 32, Brian Waldemar. At guard for the Eagles, wearing number 11, a 5'10" junior, Brett Werger. At guard for the Royals, wearing number 30, a 6' junior, Brad Miller. At guard for the Eagles, wearing number 25, a 6'4" senior, Chris Hubscheit. At guard for the Royals, a 6'1" senior, wearing number 24, Matt Baskey. And the head coach of the Keota Eagles, Scott Breeze. The head coach of the Colo NESCO Royals is Doyle Miller. And now let me introduce the officials for tonight's ball game. Your referee is Robert Johnson of Minden. The umpire, Carly Leaders of Minden. And the bench official is Bob Oldus of Iowa City. Tonight, the national colors will be presented by the East High Color Guard of Des Moines, under the direction of Jay Nugent and Kent Keating. The East High Color Guard won first place at the Miss Iowa Drill Team state competition and was named Best Color Guard at the Marching Auxiliaries Midwest Regional. Ladies and gentlemen, led by Captains Missy Hoffman, Kathy Shotsky, and Susie Gilbert, the East High Color Guard. On the playing floor, Becky Morgan Arnold to sign, and the Voices of Valley, under the direction of Charles Clark, to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And so the Keota Eagles from Keokuk County, about 40 miles south of Iowa City, get ready to meet the Colo NESCO Royals out of Story County for the Class A championship game. And for the first time in 4 years, we will have a new State A champ. It will not be Palmer.
That's something of a change, isn't it? I'm sure the Palmer kids and the people of Palmer would like to see him go for that that fourth one, and it's kind of a shame, really, that they couldn't get it. But that's what sports is all about. You win, and then it's for an underdog to knock them off, and they've had their day in court, and now it's a chance for somebody else.
Not an easy road for Keota to get here. First, before they even got to Palmer, they knocked off second-ranked Elkhorn Kimballton, and then the big one over Palmer.
If you look from their standpoint for that big win over Palmer, I'm sure they're really psyched for that game. Championship game you should automatically get up for, but it could take something away from them.
As far as Colo NESCO's road to state, a little more breathing room since they got to Des Moines and their victories over Diagonal and Rockwell-Swaledale. But bear in mind, Rockwell-Swaledale was the top seed in the field, so they have also had to accomplish some things to get to this point. And the A championship game is underway with the Royals controlling the opening tap. Number 24 is Matt Baskey. He's a player we'll talk a lot about tonight. He is a very good player. Comes from a long line of good players that have added to the tradition of this school. And the other good player, the leading scorer, Colo NESCO, Brad Wildeboer, and he gets them on the board to start the game. As far as Keota, the player they look to, number 23 is Eric Bombi. Their leading scorer, number 13, Chad Reed. So here comes Doyle Miller's Royals. Going all the way with a nice over-the-head layup, Matt Baskey.
Well, that's the way you like to start off a championship game. Hit your first couple of shots.
Well, we mentioned he comes from a long line of outstanding players. If he is selected the captain of the all-tournament team, he'll only be the third member of his family to accomplish that. He had brothers in 84 and 86 who were in similar honors, then playing for NESCO Ziering.
Right. John and Ed.
Hobscheit on the right wing. They try to find Bombi in the corner, but the turnover will give the Colo NESCO Royals a chance to run the first 3 baskets of the game. Of course, NESCO Ziering runners-up in this tournament in both 84 and 86 when the Baskey boys were such key contributors. This is their first time in the state under this particular combined program. With the foul, Doug Conrad.
You see the action. Baskey, good ball, had a little change of pace there, and you see trying to catch up is Conrad. Can't do it. It gets called for the foul. Royals take it out of bounds on the side.
Baskey, all-conference player with the ball, averages 16.5. And the rebound is ripped down by Eric Bombi. He averages nearly 6 rebounds a game.
And he's had 20 rebounds in this tournament. Good for second place in his class.
13 in one game, 7 in the other. Just outstanding. Off the lip by Chad Reed. And once again, Colo NESCO with an opportunity to take a 6-0 lead. But another turnover, and Bombi comes up with it.
And that miss by Reed, something he's not used to. He's 20 out of 28. Imagine that, 20 out of 28, 71% in the first 2 ball games.
So much for Veterans Auditorium jitters, huh? Jump ball, and the possession arrow will keep it at this end of the floor. And once again, Keota will try to get on the board. Talked to their outstanding player, Chad Reed, after the game the other day. As you take a look at their coach, Scott Breeze, in his 13th year, with a record of 188 and 80. And his team is on the board now as Chad Reed hits. Talked to Chad Reed yesterday. He said, yeah, that may have been a big game for Palmer, but this is the big game for us. We're not going to say that that was the championship. We want to get the championship. We know this is the one we have to be up for. So don't look for a letdown from them.
Well, that's the right approach to take. And every one of these kids on both teams are really shooting lights out. Brad Miller, he's 10 out of 18 in this tournament. He's a leading scorer.
Miller, the coach's son, and he gives Colo NESCO a 7-2 lead early. And the foul called against Colo NESCO, drawing the personal foul. Nathan Britton, his first. So the team fouls even at 1 in the early going. There is Doyle Miller, 161 and 40 overall. 5 years at Linville Sully, in addition to his tenure at Colo NESCO. Coached this team into the state tournament in 86 when they finished as the runner-up. Brett Werger. Werger, an outstanding student, involved in just about every school activity, big in speech work, also plays football. They've got a combined football program at Keota. They have to drive about 15 miles to Sigourney to play football. Colo NESCO all the way thus far, and they continue to stretch the lead as Brian Wildeboer hands the turnaround, 9-4 in favor of Colo NESCO.
Wildeboer tough inside, good penetration that time by Werger. He really taking the ball to the hoop.
And the putback by Bombi. One thing Scott Breeze, coach of Keota, says about Bombi, this guy never tires, never wants to come out. Would play 32 minutes. The coach would let him. Nice execution that time.
A good back cut, good pass.
And Brad Miller with his second hoop. And the Colo NESCO continues to set the early pace. 4:35 to go opening quarter. The home run ball by Hobscheit. And pulling down the rebound, Wildeboer.
Wildeboer, good check out that time. Had himself between the basket and his man. No way you're going to get the rebound.
Basket will count, and a foul called on Chad Reed on the way in. Reed picks up his first, Keota's second, and a chance at a three-point play for the Royals.
Gives him a little fake. Wildeboer takes it to the basket, has Reed out of position, and Reed trying to avoid the foul there. Gets him with the body. Wildeboer goes to the line.
Number 45 into the lineup for Keota is Lee Dua. He averages 3 points a ball game. He actually splits the starting assignment with Conrad just on an alternating basis.
And, you know, bench could be a factor in this ball game. Colo NESCO has only had 3 points from their bench, and those were all free throws. No field goals from the bench.
The Royals on top early. But again, Keota had to knock off number 1 and number 2 to get here, so, you know, they will not be intimidated by a less than ideal start. On the foul, Chad Taylor, his first, and it's Colo NESCO's second.
Well, the Royals playing good half-court defense right here. Here you see the drive. Taylor comes in there, contests the shot, makes the foul, and up at the line, got Hovshite.
Keota now 3 of 3 from the free throw line and back to within 7. Hovshite is 66% free throw shooter on the year, and it is a 14-8 ball game.
Both clubs in man for man.
Miller going for his second three, pulling down the rebound, Chad Reed. And here come the Keota Eagles. Hovshite working it inside.
Ooh, good block.
Oh, good block indeed by Wildeboer. The traveling call gives the ball back to the Royals. 3:34 to play in the opening quarter. Colo NESCO is led all the way, and they are up early by a score of 14-8. They scored the first 4 points in tonight's game.
Well, Keota's game plan, we heard the coach in between games talk about he wanted to use a full court press and then look inside on offense.
Baskey.
Just a little late with that pass, Baskey, that time to Britton.
Wildeboer can't buy the pull-up, but it's Nathan Britton with an offensive rebound. Coming up with the ball is Lee Dua, coming off the bench and coming up with a steal for the Eagles.
Well, sometimes you get up in the air, no place to go, and that's what'll happen is turnover time.
Bombi draws the crowd, and he will go to the free throw line. That time the Royals doing a good job collapsing on him, and with the foul, Brad Miller.
Well, he pumps it up, and then Bombi takes it up. Miller, the junior, picking up his foul.
Bombi, good free throw shooter at 72%. You mentioned his 20 rebounds in this tournament, Gary. He also has 35 points in the 2 games. He's 9 of 9 in the quarterfinals against Elkhorn Kimballton from the field.
And 22 points in that game. Great shooting, 9 for 9.
Into the lineup for the Eagles, the starter, Brett Werger. And leaving the lineup once again will be Lee Dua. Excuse me, not Dua, but rather Chad Reed gets a blow.
Behind the back dribble reminds me of his brother Ed. He used to like to do that, go behind.
So many times you run into basketball players who say that the way they develop is playing on the driveway against older brothers, and that has to be true in the case of Matt Baskey.
You know, there's a tendency when you're an athlete or playing anything that you want to win. The way to improve is to play against somebody better than you are and say, hope that they can only beat you 20 to 10, and then move it up to 20 to 14 and 18, and that's the way you improve, is playing against better people.
Reed misfires, and the rebound is taken down by Baskey. Colo NESCO up by 5 as they travel down the floor.
Britton not a real offensive threat, and they're averaging only 3.8 points a game, but this guy's a threat.
Wildeboer off the back of the rim, and Dua comes up with a rebound for the Eagles.
Nice bounce pass.
Getting it back is Reed.
Bombi didn't get the shot that time, but it was, or rather Chad Reed, but he floated away when he went inside with the pass. He opened himself up for the return pass.
15 is Sprouse, Jeff Sprouse, a sophomore, averaging 3 a game, just came in. The outside shooting not there thus far for Keota. Here's Brad Miller. The three by Baskey. Second basket and the second three-pointer for the Royals, and it's 17-9.
Well, surprisingly enough, Baskey only a 27% shooter from three-point range, but a 47%er from inside.
Bobby dishing it off inside to Dua. And thus far, the Royals are really hitting the boards, just one shot at a time for Keota.
Well, and Wildeboer that time again, a nice block from behind. He's had a couple of good blocks.
The Colo NESCO bucket here in the final minute of the first quarter would give them their biggest lead. Currently, they are up by 8. The Royals content to look for a high percentage shot. If not, chew up the final minute of this first quarter.
Yeah, they're going to chase that clock down.
Nice pass inside to Nathan Britton. And drawing the foul, Jeff Sprouse.
Now you understand why Baskey's such a fine point guard. Look, penetrates, a good low dribble to get through, draws the defense, drops it off to Britton. Britton gets fouled by Sprouse, and a chance to go to the line and get two. Baskey.
Jeremy DeWitt, number 42, is coming to the lineup for Colo NESCO.
I'm going to say Baskey with something around 200 assists this year.
Broke his own school record, set it as a junior and reset it as a senior. Britton with his first point of the game, and it gives the Royals their biggest lead. And now they stretch it to a 10-point lead. And getting three back is Chris Hubscheid.
Well, there's nothing like a three-point shot to get your crowd going for you, and the Keota Eagles fans right here really respond to it.
Baskey fires his third basket of the first quarter. And at the end of one period of play, Colo NESCO has opened a 9-point lead. The score, as that's the end of the first quarter, the score, Colo NESCO 21 and Keota 12. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
I'll call you tomorrow, Dad. He's so worried about paying for this nursing home. I tell him that everything's fine, but Medicare doesn't help very much. His savings are gone. I'm doing all I can. But it's just not enough.
Before you need nursing home care, protect yourself with long-term care coverage from Blue Cross and Blue Shield or your county farm bureau office.
Here's some news the Noid won't like. Domino's Pan Pizza. Thick, chewy crust smothered with cheese and toppings and delivered in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed. Sorry, Noid. Call for Domino's Pan Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
Domino's Pan Pizza is making big news. Call now and get our Pan Pizza meal deal. A pan pizza with 2 toppings and 2 Cokes, just $8.95 plus tax. Call Domino's Pizza today.
This week at Eagle, get ready for Easter with sale prices on quality guaranteed Dubuque Smoke Lean Boneless Whole Ham for just $1.37 a pound. Fresh ripe strawberries are only 59 cents a pint, and you can buy 1 dozen Grade A Lady Lee large eggs for only 39 cents with your $10 purchase and the coupon from Eagle's insert of March 15th. Shop for special Easter values this week.
Eagle, fresh ideas in food.
Your Class A championship game is 21-12. Colo NESCO on top right now.
And Colo NESCO has really done it with not only good shooting, Gary, but good rebounding.
Well, they've been rebounding well, and that's going to be the key to this game, their coach said, is they have to rebound well. Up against a good physical team with some size and Keota.
Miller gets it inside to Britton, and coming down with the rebound is Chad Reed. This is Sprouse. The three tried by Hubscheid. And again, one shot and one shot only for Keota, and then Colo NESCO wipes the glass.
That ball went up in a hurry on that shot.
Trying to stay with Baskey is Doug Conrad.
Good combination there. Miller on the outside and Wildeboer on the inside. Miller takes it himself.
Miller's been hot. He has 7 thus far in the tournament. 33 points in the 2 games coming into this one. And And again, same old story. Another rebound for Colo NESCO. This time the jump ball, and it will stay in the Keota end. Into the lineup now for the Eagles comes Chad Reed. Reed, their leading scorer at 19.7, the leading rebounder at 6.7. And leaving will be Jeff Sprouse.
Reed with 2 points in that first quarter, but he had 27 against Palmer, 10 for 13. Good out-of-bounds play.
It was indeed Conrad receives the layup on the end of it, and it's a 23-14 ball game.
Well, Conrad's got the job of controlling Matt Baskey.
It's not an easy assignment. You don't envy him at all. Away from the ball, a foul is called on Brett Werger. 4 fouls for Keota, all against 4 different players, so nobody with more than 1. In fact, that's the same story for either team.
And here, see, you look from the top coming across right there. Werger bumps him, trailing the play. You want to try and lead that man across, beat him across, take that position away from him. You can when you play defense.
Bombi is back in. Conrad has come out for the Eagles. The 3 by Baskey. And a rebound again by Colo NESCO, and putting it through is Brian Wildeboer. He averages 9.5 rebounds a game. He already has 9 points.
Now you credit that last one, though, to Britton. He was the guy, Nathan Britton, up there that kept that ball alive, gave Wildeboer a chance to kick it back in.
And the Royals continue dominating the board.
Royals that time break out of a 1-4 offense. Miller from outside.
This time Miller does not find the range on the 3, and here come the Eagles. Coast to coast, Chad Reed.
Well, he's the #1 scorer in his class in this tournament, 49 points. Had a great tournament, great kid.
With a steal, Eric Bombi.
Oh, what a hustle by Baskey.
And then a foul called on the Royals underneath. It's raising the hand. Jeremy DeWitt, his first personal foul, and the 4th one called on the Royals.
Good action. Good look at the hustle by Baskey. He's just legging it all out. Gets a piece of the ball. Hits the leg right there of Bombi. He did a good job to recover. Then back inside. Finally, Jeremy DeWitt picking up the foul. But good hustle by Baskey.
So Reed to the line with 5:59 to go in the first half. Chad Reed, an academic all-stater, carries a 3.96 grade average.
Well, the Royals saved 1 point on that exchange right there on the foul.
And Scott Breeze, the Eagles coach, does not expect to see his team as many free throws. That's because he knows something about free throw shooting. He was number 3 in the country in free throw percentage in Division III when he played at Wartburg.
Played for a good man up there, Bus Levick.
5:59 to go in the first half as the timeout's taken. The Royals have led all the way thus far. Now this word from your local station.
How Elsie Whitmore eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
I like my Reese's cold.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Two things go up at department stores: the escalators and prices on brand name shoes. Famous Footwear gives you the same brand names for less every day. This week only, take another 20% off our low everyday prices on all men's and women's brand name dress shoes. That's a very fashionable 20% more off our everyday low prices on all brand name dress shoes for men and women. Save 20% more. Move up to Famous Footwear.
Colo NESCO jumped off to a 4-0 lead. They have led all the way, been up by as many as 10. 5:59 to go in the second quarter.
And rebounding stat, an important one. The Royals, well, you go to the rebounds right there. Colo NESCO 12, Keota 6. Over the year, NESCO has averaged 35 rebounds a game, and Keota around 32.
Royals trying to equal their biggest lead of the game, but inside too many steps by Brian Wildeboer, and the ball goes back to the Eagles.
Boy, he did a nice job up to the time he had trouble with his feet, because he's held his position on that lob. So many kids want to release, and that lets the defense get to the ball. But he held it, and then he chased the ball down.
So Keota really not yet on track offensively, and again, just not getting any second shot opportunities.
On a 2-3 zone right now by Colo NESCO.
Nice job penetrating the zone, and with the easy basket, Lee Dua. Boy, a good pass inside.
Excellent pass. That's where you like to beat that zone. And Dua, 5 points in the tournament up till this ball game.
The 24 is Matt Baskey. 30 is Miller. 42 is DeWitt. 24, Baskey. That is Wildebor's had an outstanding tournament, inside or outside. Brian Wildebor has been tough. He has 11 points already.
It really makes you a threat. He's shooting just a little over 60% from the field.
Both Brian Wildebor and Brad Miller had sisters who played on the Colo NESCO team in the girls' state tournament last week. Hobscheit from the corner, and it is a 6-point lead for Colo NESCO.
Well, the Royals just a little slow that time, reacting on his zone and kicking out to that corner as they...
Trying to sneak in Jeremy DeWitt. Baskey saw him, but then good collapsing by Keota, and they knocked the ball out of bounds.
This Baskey's got nice vision and good anticipation. He threw that ball before he was there at that spot, and that's what you have to do to be a good passer.
Chad Taylor back in to replace Jeremy DeWitt. In the middle, it is Wildebor, and he is fouled. Dua with his first foul. Brian Wildebor will go to the line. I mentioned that his sister Chris played in the girls' state tournament.
Little lob pass up to Wildebor right there, and then Dua comes over the top of him before Wildebor can really get into the act of shooting. Well, no, the rule is, are we in the 1-on-1? I think
yes, we are. Yep.
I didn't think he was in the act of shooting.
No, it's the 1-on-1. Bill Kindred's coming to the lineup, number 43 for Keota. He has been an outstanding rebounder in this tournament, and maybe that's why he is in specifically, to get those rebounds. I started to mention about Colo NESCO's girls being in the tournament. And Coach Dua Miller thinks it really helped his boys team because they were here all last week, got familiar with Veterans Auditorium. He said, I've given to this tournament very loose from the start.
Kindred right away gets the rebound you're talking about. He has had 8 in the 2 ball games. To some people, that maybe doesn't sound like much, but you got to remember he doesn't play the full time.
And they've all been big rebounds. That's equally important.
He's posted up good right there, Kindred. Little shovel pass.
And it works. Bill Kindred comes off the bench and scores.
A nice move by Werder that time. I thought he was missing him as he really had him good shape posted up, but he made the drive and a little shovel pass. And a 9-3 run by Keota now. That ends it.
Brad Miller left open that time. He scores his 9th point.
Average is 19-2. Leader on this NESCO club, scoring-wise.
3 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the first half, and inside, it is Chad Reed.
Good job again that time by the Eagles on the outside and then popping it inside. Royals again slow to recover on that pass to the corner, causing him some problems.
Reed with a steal. Trying to challenge him is Chad Taylor.
Oh, tough shot.
And Reed has exploded with 7 points in the second quarter alone.
That was a great play. He let the defensive man come under, and he had to reach way down and scoop that ball up there. That was a good touch shot on the layup.
2.5 minutes to go in this first half of the Class A championship game. Palmer has won it 3 years in a row, but they were denied an unprecedented 4th straight opportunity by Keota. And putting the shot in is Matt Baskey.
Well, Scott Breeze now has Eric Bombi on Baskey. They rotate people, keep people fresh. Depth could be a factor in this ball game.
Down the lane goes Werger, and he will earn some free throws. It's fouled by Matt Baskey. Baskey with his first. And still nobody on either team with more than 1 foul thus far.
Well, Werger is certainly not afraid to penetrate. He takes that ball to the basket.
His coach, Scott Breeze, says that this young man, Brett Werger, has improved as much as anybody on his ball club. he really handled the pressure well in the game yesterday against Palmer. They handled their pressure defense, and that was a key factor in the Eagles' victory. There is Scott Breeze, former All-City football and basketball player at Cedar Rapids, Washington, where his dad used to be the athletic director.
We talked about Kindred. You see, he was in just for a short time, so his quality minutes when you're getting 8 rebounds in a couple games.
2:06 left to play in the first half, and Colo NESCO has seen their one-time 10-point lead shrink to 3. Now this word from your local station.
Richard Mulligan, grape nuts?
I need my nutrition.
Well, you'll need 4 boxes to equal the vitamin and mineral nutrition in just 1 box of Total.
You're kidding.
No kidding.
Ha ha ha. Shredded wheat.
Get serious, Richard. 12 boxes.
What do you mean all this with? A shovel?
Total, 1 bowl, 100%. That's more nutrition than any other cereal.
That's more like it. 1 box, 1 bowl, 1 spoon.
If it's whole wheat Total, it's Total nutrition.
This was me right before I came to Light Life. I'd been overweight most of my life, and I have tried every diet imaginable. I'd lose weight, and then I'd put it right back on, plus more. Light Life was different. Light Life offered me a solution. It's been 2 years now, and I've kept the weight off.
If you're over 100 pounds overweight, call 1-800-LIGHT-LIFE today for more information on the Light Life program.
Now my daughter gets mad because I'm always borrowing her clothes.
Coming at 19-9 in the final seconds of the first quarter. But in the second quarter, the Eagles have come roaring back to cut it down to 3. And while Keota's had trouble on the boards, it's obvious there they have not had trouble hanging on to the basketball. And that's why they've been able to hang in it despite their deficiencies on the glass. Brad Miller with the miss. The follow won't go by Britton. And now Keota getting more into the rebounding flow.
He wanted traveling, he wanted traveling that time on Werder.
On the drive, Chad Reed, it's a 1-point game.
Boy, and Reed has really come to life in this half. 9 points, 7 in this quarter. I should say in this quarter, he had 2 in the first quarter.
They had to get him in the flow to have any kind of an opportunity. Taylor tries to bounce it along the baseline, and it's kicked out by Reed.
Good defense right now by the Eagles. Has the Royals standing and not moving in their offense as well as they were.
At the top, it is Wildeboer. Miller looks in.
Sitting in that 2-3 zone, that's seemed to bother the Royals.
Miller over the zone, and a scrap for the rebound, and over the back is Chad Reed with his second foul. He becomes the first player on either team with more than 1. And for Scott Breeze, but he does not want to stay in foul trouble because Reed is a good one.
Right, Miller goes up, comes off short, but Chad Taylor doing a good job of getting inside, and then you see Chad Reed flying in from the outside, gets the foul with the free throws missed.
And on the rebound, scrap, a foul called on the Royals. With the personal foul is Brad Miller. Now into the lineup for the Royals comes Doug Reese, a 6'2 junior, averaging 3.1. And checking out will be Nathan Britton. 1:04 remains in the first half, as Bombay has the chance to give Keota their first lead. He earns them their first tie. Jeff Sprouse back into the guard. And leaving will be Lidua. Bobby ties it with the first one. He can send his team into its first lead by connecting on the second one. Securing the rebound, Brad Miller. Into the final minute of the first half. Wildeboer on the offensive rebound.
Good job that time by Brian. Got himself under control. Long step to stop, pause, went up for the shot.
He has 15 first half points. The three won't go by Hotshite. Reed comes up. Offensive foul on Reed. Costly. lovely one, Gary Thompson. That is his third.
Boy, look at him. He's in anguish right there. He knows what that means, averaging 19-7 a ball game. Watch, they're really fighting the boards, but the defensive man just sitting there waiting for him. Now you get a second look at it. Ball comes off. Taylor gets the strip by Reed. He comes in. The defensive man comes up. Official right there rules that he was set in time.
That was Baskey who got it underneath and draws a big third foul against Chad Reed, the leading scorer for Keota. Colo NESCO a 2-point lead. Looks like they'll play for the last shot.
It looks like Keota now goes man for man on the chase as they wind the clock down.
Miller can hit from out there. Baskey will try. Would have counted had it gone, but it did not. And it's a 2-point game in the Class A championship at the end of the first half as the team trailing Keota under Scott Breeze right there walk off the floor. That's the end of the first half with the score. Colo NESCO 34, Keota 32. We'll be back at Veterans Auditorium in just a moment.
For 29 years, First Realty Better Homes and Gardens has been a part of Iowa, helping families find the home of their dreams. Our name has always meant quality service to families. Working with the Blue Flame Gas Association, we've set the standards of home comfort and affordability all over Iowa. Recommending natural gas, your best energy value. When you're ready to buy or sell, call the company that sets the standards in real estate. Call First Realty Better Homes and Gardens.
Belonging. It's a commitment to a lifetime of caring and sharing. A commitment to raising a family, giving guidance, patience, and love. It's a commitment to caring. Showing the way, making things easier. That's the commitment of the Farm Bureau family, too. The commitment to provide strength and security for your family, your home, your life. Farm Bureau, where belonging makes a difference.
At the end of one quarter, Colo NESCO had opened a 21-12 lead, but Keota outscores Colo NESCO 20-13 in the second quarter. Gary, I tend to think they got back in it because they started hitting the glass.
Well, they started hitting the boards. I thought their defense was good, too. They went man for man into the zone, and I think it got the Royals standing around a little bit. They'd had good movement early, had some back cuts and a couple of cheap baskets. They started to stand on the perimeter, and the worst thing you can have for a basketball team is one standing around. They have to make some kind of adjustment to that at halftime.
Keota no stranger to close ball games. They're into the tournament by virtue of a 2-point win and a 4-point win. They have a 24-1 record. Colo NESCO at 24-2. And both teams at a very tight game at the half, a 34-32 lead for the Colo NESCO Royals. Inside, Brian Wildeber, 15 points. The lead first half scoring for the Royals, while it was Chad Reed with 11 who led the way for the Eagles. Now let's go down to the floor and Mo Kelly.
Gentlemen, could we have your attention for a few moments, please? We have some special folks we'd like to honor this evening. In the state of Iowa, we're very pleased that we have such a great group of high school athletic directors. They're enthusiastic, they're well organized, they're known as leaders throughout the nation in high school sports, and perhaps best of all, they love kids. Our High School Athletic Directors Association president at this time is Mr. Chuck Van Heck, who is the athletic director at Muscadine High School. And at this time, he is going to be honoring the Athletic Director of the Year. The High School Athletic Director of the Year goes through a special selection process. First of all, there are nominations received from all of the schools in the state, and there are ones that are selected as District Athletic Director of the Year. And from that group, a State Athletic Director of the Year is selected. Now, there will be further competition. Our Athletic Director of the Year in our state will be going on to regional competition and then on, hopefully, to national competition. The Athletic Director of the Year this year is the current Athletic Director at Anamosa High School. He's a native of New Hampton. He received his education at Luther and Waldorf with some work also at UNI and the University of Iowa. He was a coach at Green, Iowa, and for over 25 years has been at Anamosa High School. And he has the rare privilege indeed of representing all of the other athletic directors in our state in the Athletic Director of the Year competition regionally very soon. How about a big hand for our Athletic Director of the Year in Iowa, Paul Lewison of Anamosa, accompanied by his wife, Verna. Normally speaking, our Iowa Basketball Coaches Association presents their Win Club Awards on Saturday evening, and that will occur again tomorrow evening. However, we have a special instance where one of the recipients cannot be with us tomorrow evening, so we'd like to mention him tonight. To present this award is Don Logan to my far left, who is the current executive secretary of the Iowa Basketball Coaches Association, and a Win Club Award for achieving over 300 wins as an Iowa high school basketball coach goes to Mapleton, Maple Valley's Alden Birkenpass. How about a big hand for Coach Birkenpass? Each year at this time, the Iowa Governor's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports makes some special presentations. And at this time, I'd like to introduce, to make those presentations, the chairman of that council, Raul Dianda. Mr. Dianda.
Good evening. In 1963, the Iowa Governor's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports was established to support and promote physical fitness, sports, and recreation programs for all Iowans. This year, at the request of Governor Branstad, the Council has selected 8 organizations to receive outstanding awards in the areas of physical education, sports, recreation, and employee wellness to be recognized and honored for their outstanding programs in the state of Iowa during 1988. This is the 15th year for the award presentation. Because of the exceptional programs in each category, the selection process is difficult. However, after careful consideration by the members of the selection committees, here are the award recipients for outstanding fitness and sports programs conducted in Iowa during 1988. The award certificates will be presented by Governor Terry Branstad. For the outstanding elementary school physical fitness and sports program, Penn Elementary School, North Liberty. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Jerry Ed Foraker, physical education teacher at Penn School, Teresa Shane, principal at Penn School. For the outstanding secondary school physical fitness and sports program, Boone Junior and Senior High School, Boone. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Mr. Rick Davis, Physical Education Department Chairperson, and Dr. Larry Harrington, Principal. For the outstanding college or university physical fitness and sports program, Lawrence College Fitness for Life Program, Dubuque. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Dr. Robert Tucker, Chair, Physical Education Department, Gary Whitman, Co-Director, Fitness for Life Program. For outstanding handicapped fitness and sports program, Camp Jubilee, Iowa State University, Ames. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Julie A. Palmer, Camp Jubilee Director, Donalda T. McMillan, CTRS Instructor. For the outstanding private organization physical fitness and sports program, Greyhound Lines Wellness Program, West Des Moines. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Wes Summers, Director of Human Resources, Joe Longfellow, Accounting Clerk, Wellness Committee. For the outstanding community physical fitness and recreation program, Ames Park and Recreation Department, Ames. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Eric Joe Stevens, Department Director, Nancy Jo Carroll, Recreation Superintendent. For the outstanding Senior Citizen Physical Fitness and Recreation Program, Iowa Senior Olympics, West Des Moines. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Dick Cummings, 1988, Steering Committee Chairman, Lucille Schertz, 1988, torchbearer, participant, and volunteer. For the outstanding Business and Industry Physical Fitness and Sports Program, Iowa Methodist Medical Center, Employee Health and Fitness Center, Des Moines. Accepting the award from Governor Branstad are Sherry Stewart, Director of Wellness, Denise Owen, Fitness Specialist. This concludes the Governor's Fitness and Sports Award presentation. The Governor's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports thanks the Governor and the Iowa Boys High School Athletic Association and its Executive Director, Bernie Sago, for allowing the Council to present these awards at this time. Thank you.
Back at halftime at Veterans Auditorium, following those presentations, Colo NESCO leading Keota by a score of 34-32 at the half. And Gary, it's been a tight ball game thus far. We'll talk more about it a little later, and we'll be back in a moment after this pause for station identification.
No one knows my livestock like I do.
And I know every animal on the place.
I know what it takes to run a successful operation.
Hard work, done the right way every day.
That same old grind makes my bread and butter.
So you better believe I only work with products
and people who work the way I do.
The American farmer takes on a lot of tough jobs every day. He does everything he can to produce a good crop. And he does everything in his power to preserve our delicate environment, such as terracing his fields to control runoff and erosion, so that families like his can continue farming for generations to come. Brought to you on behalf of the American farmer by the makers of dual herbicide.
Lottery profits create jobs. The Red Oak die casting plant in southwest Iowa started with the help of 60,000 lottery dollars. 35 jobs will be created.
Thanks, Iowa Lottery!
Lottery dollars are restoring our capital, and $6 million helped build the new state historical building. Lottery dollars are preserving our past.
Thanks, Iowa Lottery!
And thanks, Iowa Lottery players.
The Chicago Bulls take on the Los Angeles Lakers Tuesday at 9:30.
And Doug Murbach.
Thank you, Larry. We're talking to Dave Hardy, the Assistant Executive Director of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Dave, you got a big crowd out here tonight, despite the weather out there and despite the fact that both Iowa State and Iowa are playing in the NCAA tournament, and you've also got NCAA wrestling going on today, too. Nice turnout, though.
Oh, real good turnout. Of course, the Class A schools have always had a real good turnout, Doug, and we have two excellent Class A schools out here in the championship ball game.
Now, I know a lot of these people maybe bought their tickets hoping to see Palmer win an unprecedented 4th straight state Class A championship, but they're seeing a good one here tonight anyhow.
Oh, you perhaps might be right. Some did, I'm sure, Doug. But again, as we go through the tournament trail at the state during the entire week of the tournament, the teams kind of purchase their tickets as they go along throughout each session, and I'm sure there are many that would like to have seen that become a reality. But by the same token, the Keotas and the Colo NESCO's earrings, you know, those folks were looking toward that championship game likewise.
Now, as always, it's been a busy March for you. The boys high school basketball tournament, you just got done with the boys wrestling tournament a couple weeks ago. Part of the wrestling tournament that maybe not a lot of people know a lot about is the dual meet tournament that is held in Cedar Falls. How has that been going for the High School Athletic Association?
Well, competitive-wise, Doug, it's been excellent. This year, we were in our 3rd year, and we could not have had a better draw from the standpoint of the teams. But it's so relatively new yet. It still has some time for growth and the interest factor to catch on insofar as the fans are concerned that traditionally come down and watch the state individual tournament held here in the Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines. But we had to postpone this year due to ice from a Saturday to a Monday, and that cut our attendance some. But in the Monday night crowd, we had an excellent attendance. Monday afternoon, being a school day and all, it was reduced some. But by and large, we're getting a few more all the time, and it still needs a little time for growth.
Now, you wouldn't tell it by the weather outside today, but you're also getting ready for track season, too.
It's right around the corner. Of course, all the schools could begin track season effective February 15th as far as their training program's concerned. So you'll be seeing the outdoor track personnel going here shortly.
I can't wait for that or for golf.
Super. Thank you.
Okay, that's Dave Hardy, Assistant Executive Director of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Back upstairs to Larry and Gary now.
Thank you, Doug. The players have returned to the floor. And, Gary, when Keota got on the board, they got back in the ball game.
Well, they did. I think we had unofficially, they out-rebounded Colo NESCO in that second quarter about 9-4. And the Royals had owned the rebounding in the first quarter. One of the big advantages in this first half may be from the aggressiveness of Keota taking the ball to the basket. I think we're going to see a difference at the free throw line.
So the next 16 minutes should be as thrilling as the first 16. A 2-point game at the half. And we'll be back at Veterans Auditorium after this word from your local station.
I'll call you tomorrow, Dad. He's so worried about paying for this nursing home. I tell him that everything's fine, but Medicare doesn't help very much. His savings are gone. I'm doing all I can. But it's just not enough.
Before you need nursing home care, protect yourself with long-term care coverage from Blue Cross and Blue Shield or your county farm bureau office.
New van conversions as low as $19.95. That's right, Quad Cities, thanks to special assistance from the makers of Sherry and Gladiator conversion vans. Right now, Bud Mills Chevrolet can offer Astro conversion packages for just $19.95 or $24.95. Full-size conversion packages for just $39.95 or $49.95. Over 40 vans in stock. New van conversions as low as $19.95. That's not a misprint. But only for a limited time and only at Bud Mills Chevrolet. 16th Street of the Deer Expressway in Moline.
It's the kind of place they write books about. So call 1-800-432-TRIP for your free Wisconsin guidebook.
When did you enter active service?
It looks so simple, but applying for benefits from the Veterans Administration can be overwhelming. The Paralyzed Veterans of America can help you cut through the paperwork puzzle and realize all the benefits to which you still may be entitled. Call today. Their professional services are free of charge.
Now let's go down to courtside and take a look at first half highlights with Doug Murbach.
Thank you, Larry. We've got the 34-32 halftime score here in the Class A championship game with Colo NESCO ahead. First quarter highlights. Matt Baskey pretty much owned that quarter. He drives and makes a nice little scoop shot right there. Colo NESCO up 2-0 at the start of the game. Then it is Matt Baskey again, this time showing his range, gunning away from downtown for the three-pointer. Chris Hobscheid would put in a three-pointer for Keota. This one made it 21-12 Colo NESCO at the end of the first quarter. Brad Miller of Colo popped this one from three-point range. Colo NESCO still in front. And then watch this, Chad Reed right here. He'll get the ball, do it all on his own, driving down the lane and putting it off the glass for two. Great drive there by Chad Reed, number 13. Then we've got some great hustle here. Watch Eric Bombi with the steal, but Matt Baskey tracks him down and catches up, slaps it away, able to get the ball back. Just a great defensive play there by Matt Baskey. As we said, the score 34-32, Colo NESCO leading Keota here at the halftime of the Class A championship game. We'll be back with the start of the second half in just a moment.
John Deere promise. Buy this new 1989 walk-behind, test drive it for a full month. If you don't agree it's the best mower you ever used, you can bring it back for a full refund?
The new 1989 John Deere walk-behind. We've either got the best walk-behind mower ever made, or we've got a big problem.
The calf was hers to care for. She fed it and brushed it and loved it. But now it's time to ship. Even when you're prepared, it hurts. Caring is something we learn young. And if lucky, we never forget. Insurance is caring too. And providing strength and security for those you care for is what the Farm Bureau family does best. Farm Bureau, where belonging makes a difference.
See that? Yes. Do you see that? I see that. You don't see anything, because our new Amana refrigerator does not stick out.
It doesn't stick out, Charlie.
And why? Because Amana makes a model that sits flush with the cabinets. So, you get a built-in look without tearing up the kitchen.
I like your Amana, Charlie, and I get it. Built-in look without the built-in price, and it sits flush. I see that.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you see that? I see that. You don't see anything.
When you know exactly what you want, Amana.
Back at Veterans Auditorium, halftime of the Class A championship game. Colo NESCO with a 34-32 lead over Keota. In 3A semifinals this afternoon, Davenport North and City High of Iowa City advanced to the championship tomorrow night. Davenport North beating Sioux City Heelan by a score of 82-66. City High taking Marshalltown 44-39. And of course, we'll have that championship game for you tomorrow night, as well as the Class 2A championship. Gary, let's take a look at the first half stats.
Well, one of the things we're talking about would be free throw shooting, but first of all, look at the field goal percentage difference, 53% to 44%. Here's the area that I was concerned about because the aggressiveness of Keota to take the ball to the basket. They've gone to the line 12 times, converted 9 to NESCO's 4 out of 6, so a 5-point swing right there has really kept Keota in the ballgame.
Keota able to really reduce their turnovers, so that time that they weren't rebounding, at least they weren't turning the ball over at the other end.
That's right, and we talked about picking up on the rebound end. They'd come back to only a 1 rebound disadvantage to the Royals.
And that does represent a big comeback after a 1 point early. They've been out-rebounded by a score of 12-6. So in regulation play, 16 minutes remaining as Colo NESCO and Keota both try for what would be the first state championship in basketball for either school. In fact, Keota had never been to a state tournament before. They made 5 conference championships that they have won in the South Iowa Cedar Conference, but had never gotten as far as state until this year. Of course, Colo NESCO, when they were NESCO zeroing here twice, runners up in 84 and 86, so they too looking for their first basketball crown. Big factors. We start the second half for the Eagles. One of their key players, Chad Reed, with 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's going to hurt his aggressiveness a little bit. And they need him. He's a tremendous scorer. As we said, he's just shot lights out in this tournament coming into this ball game, 20 out of 28.
That is Miller on the pass from Baskey.
I think he's going to have to get in the offense a little bit more for him. He's got 8 points in the first half, 4 out of 8. But between Baskey, Miller, and Wildeboer, they account for almost all the offense.
Well, Baskey picks it up right there with his 11th point, and Colo NESCO scoring the first 4 points of the game, get the first 2 here in the second half.
And that's a big plus, too. Baskey only 2 points in that second quarter when Keota came back. Good helping defense that time. Britton's a guy is a workhorse. He's around that ball. He's got a nose for the ball, rebounding and defensively. Covers up a lot.
And Baskey also got a big hand on it. Here is Miller. And another quick start as they did the game. So they start the second half. Colo NESCO hitting a couple to start.
Well, we just talked about Miller needing to get in the offense, and he does right there.
Cutting into the lane is Hochscheid, and he has got 9 points. Chris Hochscheid, very good shooter.
Well, he started quick, but had an off first half shooting, only 2 for 8.
So the Royals now with 6:48 to go in the third quarter, trying to pad a 4-point lead. Here's Miller for 2 in a row. And Chad Reed has the rebound and comes down 1 against 3. And still keeps it and almost converts it. And coming up with the rebound is Brian Wildeboer.
Nobody on the boards that time for Keota. Keota comes out. Let's see, man for man.
At the top it is Baskey, and trying to guard him is Doug Conrad, and that is not an easy assignment. But Conrad is used to that role. He usually draws the toughest defensive assignment.
So far, I think he's only had 1 point in the tournament, that being against Palmer, and Baskey has him again.
Tough luck shot by Baskey. Brett Werger pulls down the rebound.
But the thing he's doing, he's making Baskey work for the shot, and at the end, that could be crucial work on a guy and make him tired. Some of those shots come up short. Big block.
And another good rebound by Brad Miller. So the Royals once again an opportunity to add to their 4-point lead. Tried to work that ball down low to Wildeboer. But Keota comes up with it.
One thing you have to do against Keota is you have to get back quick on defense. They'll really bring that ball down.
Reed being harassed by Britton. Britton, a good defensive player. He's one of those role players considered the best defensive forward on the Royals roster.
Oh, nice steal.
Baskey alone.
Well, he slipped in behind, made the steal, and he's back in action as far as offense is concerned.
That he is. Now 13 points in the game with a couple of quick baskets from the start of the third quarter.
Little kid Werger causes some problems. He penetrates like right there.
Good example of the penetration there. And it's a blocking foul. Wildeboer with his first foul.
Well, Werger, when he penetrates, he's able to find the open man. Here you'll see him. Up fake, gets Miller drawn up on him, and Wildeboer doesn't get there in time as the little kid Berger, 5'10" junior, takes it up to the glass.
Into the lineup for Keota comes Lee Dua, and leaving the lineup will be Doug Conrad.
And we'll see if Dua covers Baskey defensively. They did put Bombi for a while on Baskey in that first half.
Werger with 4 off from the line. That was his first miss after hitting his first 4 free throws.
Nice arch on that one.
He's a 75% free throw shooter. He knows how it's done.
Well, it looked like they were going to press, but it didn't seem to be organized. The kids were talking to each other, and they decided to just drop back and play half-court defense now in a 2-3 situation, 2-3 zone.
And I suppose if there's any indecision, that's what you got to do, is at least get down on the defensive end in a hurry.
You don't want to have a breakdown on defense.
And then iron it out. Wildeboer in the lane. Has 2 shots in this half that have been in the cylinder now. Wildeboer tries again.
And Miller kept that alive. Might have had a foul on Miller. He came in there strong.
Ought to have had a foul on somebody with that kind of a collision, don't you think? Dua with his second personal foul, and it is the first on the Eagles.
Well, this is the ball as it comes away, and Dua just gets called for the foul, reaching in.
4 minutes, 13 seconds to go as we're midway through the third quarter. Colo NESCO by 5. Now this word from your local station.
When you're up against tough dirt, come to True Value Hardware Stores, where tough competitors take it away. With strong Palmyra bristles and a self-locking handle, this Super Brute 18-inch broom from Empire is just $8.99. Get floors shiny clean in no time flat with this easy Roll-O-Matic sponge mop, only $7.99. And put trash away to stay inside the super tough roughneck container from Rubbermaid, just $12.88 at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
With a job like mine, if you don't have the right tools, it can be a real chore. Like my truck, my livelihood. But I couldn't afford to spend a ton of money on one. And that's where my Ford dealer really helped out. You say this F-150 will haul more than the others.
It's got more power, too. Plus, we can save you almost $2,800 in the options you want.
I got a great deal on a tough truck. Ford F-150. Works hard in the day and looks good at night. Kind of like me. From quality people with quality products. Your local Ford dealer.
Coach from his father. Used to be the football coach in Rockford, Illinois, and then the athletic director at Cedar Rapids, Washington. Doyle Miller. He's been at his school.
Knew his father
for several years.
Knew his father. I lived in Cedar Rapids, 62 through 64, and a nice person.
Doyle Miller, we mentioned his son, Brad, on the basketball team for the boys. He has an outstanding freshman basketball player in his family also. His daughter, Missy, on that state tournament team that was here last week for Colo NESCO. Here is Baskey, left with some daylight. And Gary, when he's got any kind of breathing room like that, he's deadly.
Yeah, that's about one of the first really easy shots that he's had, where he had a man maybe 5-6 feet off of him. They've tried to keep pretty good pressure.
And he now has 15 points. And it's a 7-point lead for Colo NESCO. Their biggest lead has been 10.
Colo NESCO really packing the defense in. You see right there, giving up just a 15-foot shot from the free throw line.
They're going to make the Eagles prove they can hit from there. Miller lobs for Wildeboer. And now Baskey for 2 in a row. Dua really fighting for a rebound. And a jump ball, and it will go the other direction. So the hustle pays off for Lee Dua because he gets his team the basketball with 3:07 to go in the third and down by 7.
I was waiting for a collision on that one. Loose ball and 2 kids coming from about 10 feet away.
Bill Kindred, number 43, comes in as we take another look.
Watch it right here. You see everybody converged on. Unfortunately, they just moved away from each other so they didn't have the violent collision. Get somebody hurt.
Dua just came out of nowhere. Driving the baseline, Bombi. Eric Bombi with his second field goal of the game. He's averaging 15.8, has only 6 now, and he's got to get more involved in the offense if Keota is going to make a run.
Well, you know he can shoot it. We talked about in the first half, 9 for 9 from the field against Alcorn Kimballton.
Baskey, nice dump-off pass. And therefore, an easy basket for Britton. Fine pass.
You know, that's why he's a good assist man. I thought Nathan Britton, he put the ball on the floor. I thought he really should have just taken it up strong.
Foul called on the Royals. Each team had committed only 1 foul in the entire second half prior to that foul against Miller.
Well, that's 3 against Miller. He's their leading scorer. A little crossover dribble right there, and this Miller reaches right in. Picks up his third.
Timeout will be taken by the Royals with 2:26 to go in the third period. Colo NESCO finds themselves up by 7 points, and we'll be back after this word from your local station.
It couldn't have happened to a nicer vegetable. When Betty Crocker created new microwave potatoes with tender russet slices and creamy sauces, something delicious happened. New microwave potatoes from Betty Crocker. She's the best thing that ever happened to potatoes.
If buttery rice is nice, what could be better?
Buttery rice tuna helper.
Yes! Fluffy rice, butter sauce with your tuna and butter make a meal the whole family will enjoy. Buttery rice tuna helper.
Make a great meal.
If you like nuts, you'll love Cluster cereal. Clusters is the only breakfast cereal with almonds, pecans, walnuts, and honey crushed into little nut clusters and mixed with crisp flakes. If you like nuts, you'll love Cluster cereal.
The odd-numbered quarters have been a problem for Keota thus far. They fell behind 21-12 after the first quarter. Outscored Colo NESCO 20-13 in the second quarter to make it a 2-point game. But now in the third quarter, Colo NESCO has come out strong.
Royal sitting in a 2-3 zone.
The shot by Hotshot is long, and the Royals have the rebound. They have outscored Keota 10-5 thus far in the third quarter, which has just over 2 minutes to go in it. Wildeboer has not hit a basket in the second half yet, and he's had some good shots. They've just kicked out on it.
Well, I watched Doyle Miller, his reaction there as Degore's shot did not go down, and you can't believe it because the kid's such a good shooter, 60-some, just a little over 60%.
And he was 6 of 9 in the first half, and he's something like 0 for 3 here in the second half. And coming through is Chad Reed, his first basket of the second half.
What a nice pass by Bombi right there. Just laid it back out of the double team.
Here's Baskey, his favorite spot on the floor. Just a little short.
I talked about the pressure and making the kid work all the time. You may not get to him, you know, in the first half or first 3 quarters, but right now his shots have been coming up short.
Hotshot can't buy it. Reed scoops. And a jump ball is called. I think we're seeing a little intensity out there, Gary.
Yes, we are. They're playing for all the marbles in this one right now.
1:14 to go in the third, and a lineup change for the Colo NESCO Royals. As you look at their coach, Doyle Miller, he just sent Brett Rasmussen into the lineup for the first time. Rasmussen, a 5'8 junior, averaging 2.9.
That's my kind of guard. It's kind of fun to see some high school basketball where you see some little point guards that are 5'7", 5'9". Had one yesterday with East Tennessee State, a kid that was 5'7" by the name of Jennings. They call him Mister, and I tell you, he can do it all. He played right with Oklahoma's Mookie Blaylock.
And that is quite a compliment. Into the final minute of the third, Colo NESCO with the ball and a 5-point lead.
And I think they're going to do what they've done in the past. They run down, he gets a 5-second count.
And so the ball goes over to the Eagles with 48 seconds to go in the third quarter. Big possession for them right here. Number 11 into the Keota lineup, the starter at guard, Brett Werger. Werger in, Sprouse comes out.
The turnovers are like that are really costly. You hate those. What you really have to say is an unforced turnover.
Pass inside to Reed. He is fouled by Wildeboer, his second, and Reed will go to the line.
Well, a good job that time as they went to the corner with the pass, and then Reed slid down the lane, got the return pass. Wildeboer with the foul will make him shoot it and make the 2 from the charity stripe.
40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Keota's been behind just about throughout the ball game. However, one thing that Scott Breeze says about his team is they have played with great confidence. They've had different heroes every night. They've played loose and relaxed, so you know that they're not about to panic.
And they've been in those close ball games already, which they won, and that helps your confidence. Now they come with full court pressure. Nobody to help on the throw-in. Good return pass.
44-40. Well, the scoreboard for a moment said 44-44, and the Keota fans only wish that had been fact.
Wildeboer probably pretty smart right there. His shot hasn't gone. He got in the baseline. It's a little 10-footer there inside. To me, the toughest shot in basketball. You can't see the board or use the glass.
The third quarter clock in the lower right-hand corner.
Again, they're going to run down the clock here, trying to get the last shot.
They may want it in Baskey's hands. He has been hot.
He can shoot it.
Wildeboer continues to have tough luck in the quarter.
Ooh, I thought for a minute that was going.
Looked like it was on line by Reed, but not quite. 3 quarters in the Class A championship game have been played. Colo NESCO leading Keota 44-40, and we'll be back after this word from your local station.
I'll call you tomorrow, Dad.
He's so worried about paying for this nursing home. I tell him that everything's fine, but Medicare doesn't help very much. His savings are gone. I'm doing all I can. But it's just not enough.
Before you need nursing home care, protect yourself with long-term care coverage from Blue Cross and Blue Shield or your county farm bureau office.
Here's some news the Noid won't like. Domino's Pan Pizza. Thick, chewy crust smothered with cheese and toppings and delivered in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed. Sorry, Noid. Call for Domino's Pan Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
Domino's Pan Pizza is making big news. Call now and get our Pan Pizza meal deal. A pan pizza with 2 toppings and 2 Cokes, just $8.95 plus tax. Call Domino's Pizza today.
Announcing no interest for 12 months. That's right, it's a 12-month no-interest sale, and it's going on now at Better Family Furniture in Clinton. There's rockers, recliners, sofas, dining room, bedroom, and living room sets. You get 12 months no interest with any qualifying purchase and approved credit. As always, at Better Family Furniture, you get at least 30% off regular retail prices. Plus, receive free delivery in the area. Better prices on quality furniture for families like yours. Better Family Furniture of Clinton.
Doug Murbach here courtside at crunch time in the Class A championship game as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. It's 44-40. Colo NESCO on top right now. What impressed me about the third quarter for Colo is their patience in the half-court offense. If they continue that patience, you might see a championship in their corner.
A big possession for Keota here. They can make it a 2-point game. Inside, it is Kindred on the drive, and coming up with the rebound, Chad Taylor.
Miller coming off that time on defense all along.
Wildeboer. He did not score in the third quarter, but he scores in the first 20 seconds of the fourth quarter.
Well, I have Mark down on here. He's going to make the comment that they need Wildeboer in this quarter offensively. He gets one the easy way that time.
Inside, the ball goes to Reed, and the foul goes to Britton trying to stop him. That's only the 4th foul and a half on Colo NESCO.
See Reed cutting away. The defensive man goes over the top. Nice pass, but Britton can't get there in time.
Hot shot misfiring from the right baseline.
Little guy comes up with a rebound. Borger just 5'10". Good movement on offense by Keota right now. That's a travel.
And that is a travel against Bombi. So the Royals get the ball back, up by 6, 7:12 to go in regulation in the championship game.
That was a low-scoring third quarter. NESCO put, or Colo NESCO, I should say, put 10 points on the board, and Keota just 8.
The Eagles had some fouls to give, by the way. They have committed just one. So if that becomes a factor late, that could help them. They come up with the ball here.
What a scramble.
Reed. Nice dish off to Bombi.
Well, they'll strike you in a hurry, Keota. They really push the ball down. As I said before, they'll penetrate and be aggressive. So defensively, Royals really have to get back quick every time they turn the ball over. Looking at a trap situation, half court.
That is Miller against the trap. Somehow gets around it for a baseline jumper. And Chad Taylor with a rebound.
You notice Baskey's shots continue to come up short.
And now Miller will try. And another rebound for the Royals.
Boy, they can't get it down. Let's see what happens here.
But they have been getting second and third opportunities. Again, Kindred coming up with the foul, his second. So like the trend we talked about in the first quarter, rebounding, suddenly helping Colo NESCO build a lead.
That's right. Keota had come back and seemed to solve that, but here you see in the tail end, it was about 4 shot attempts by the Royals. Kindred finally picks up the foul. Miller coming in there again to get on that offensive glass.
Just the second foul in the second half on the Eagles. 6:06 to go in the title game.
Yeah, they go back to the 2-3. They were in the trap situation.
Miller over the zone, and the outside shooting has gone sour for the Royals. Keota to within 4. Trying to get within 2, and they do on Eric Bombi's 10th point. So the story of this tournament, down to the wire finishes, and maybe another one is brewing.
Well, right now, the Royals, you see Keota, they're out there looking at that trap again. They're changing up the defense. They went soft last time after they'd come hard pressure with that half-court trap.
That's got to be confusing, and perhaps Dory Miller is taking this time out to talk to his team about how to handle the various defenses the Eagles are using. There's timeout on the court with 5:18 to go in the game. And now this word from your local station.
Maybe you think you know all about men, but you don't. They're mysterious animals. They like to look good, but they don't like to shop for clothes. That's why it'll be important to remember Foreman and Clark when you're a little older. It's a comfortable place to shop, and the prices are surprisingly affordable. That's important, too, because men don't really understand money. Are you getting all of this?
Foreman and Clark is surprisingly affordable.
You're all right, kid.
At Hardee's, we don't use just any old fish for our fish sandwich. No, 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 no. To win you over, we go to the icy depths of the North Atlantic for whole fillets of moist, flaky fish on a multi-grain bun. All because we never forget you can always go someplace else. Next time you're in the neighborhood, why not drop in? Now get a fisherman's fillet sandwich and regular fries for only $1.99 at Hardee's.
It's the way a title game should be, Gary. A 2-point game in the waning moments.
Well, right down to the wire, and you have to wonder whether Colo NESCO, the kids, they play 5 players an awful lot. 3 games in this tournament where they have enough left in their legs to get those shots up because everything's been coming short.
And the shot rims home by Baskey. I'm sure one of the things Dory Miller talked about was getting closer in shots because Colo NESCO had been forced way outside and nothing was dropping. Flagging it down, Chad Taylor. Big defensive play by Taylor. Wildeberg doesn't even look at the basket that time as Colo NESCO wants to run some time off the clock. Out there harassing is Dua. Baskey. Now Taylor. 4.5 left to play. And the Royals are going to show some patience now.
Well, the difference there, just looking here at the shooting percentage this fourth quarter, just the fourth quarter, Keota shooting 50% clip, Colo NESCO 33%, and herein lies the difference.
Colo NESCO has held bigger leads, had them cut, and so now they're looking for high percentage shots. And normally that's a pretty good one for Baskey. And now the Eagles can pull it within 2 with a 2-point basket. Either team's great three-point shooting team. Inside, putting it through is Hopshot. Big basket for the Eagles. Hopshot second of the second half.
Watch how good bounce pass there from the top side. Good anticipation of the pass, leads him to the spot. And you see Chad Taylor, 6'3", senior, coming over the top. Look at this bounce pass. See, the man's not quite there yet. He puts the ball in a spot. Hopshot gets it up off the glass, and a chance now to come back, make it a three-point play, cut this ball game to 1.
And into the lineup for the Eagles comes Doug Conrad. Just as important as the fact that this is a free throw is that is the 5th foul on Colo NESCO. So the Eagles, a 70% shooting team on the season, should have some one-on-one opportunities down the stretch. 5.5 and 12 in the game for Hopshot, and we're down to a 1-point game. With the foul, Sprouse.
See, here comes Miller again. He comes over there, and the defensive man could not get there in time. Doesn't get his position. Foul on Jeff Sprouse.
Only the third of the half, which means that with 3:52 left, the Royals still don't get to go to the free throw line, and they have not shot a second half free throw.
They haven't got the penetration to the basket. Now we get an offensive foul on Baskey.
Baskey his second, and Keota has a chance to take their first lead of the game. They got behind 4-0 at the very start of the ball game, have never led, but could do it now.
That's right. You see him right here. Watch Baskey. He comes across. Defensive man set. Doesn't even move his feet, and Baskey runs over him. Colo NESCO not moving in their offense right now. There's a big play by Baskey.
Baskey steals, and stealing it right back is Doug Conrad.
Conrad, the defensive specialist, does his job there.
And so the Eagles get another chance to take their first lead. And they may do it on the free throw line as Wildeboer comes up with his third foul.
Well, we've seen a couple of gambles there. Baskey made his pay off, but you want to sit in there and play pretty sound defense. Here's Baskey. Got that ball on the side where Conrad was coming. He strips it from him right there. Big play, big defensive play by Conrad.
It's important in a tight game not only to get free throws, but to have good free throw shooters on the line. There really aren't many bad choices for the Eagles. And one of the better of them is up at the line now, Bill Kindred, 73% on the season. Big offensive rebound by Bombi.
You know what? And it caught Miller was late getting it in. Everybody seemed to just stand and not react to the one-on-one situation.
This is Sprouse. This will be the 4th opportunity for Keota to take their first lead.
That defense packed in, trying to stop the inside game.
Wildeboer with his 4th foul. Now there's an important play. Wildeboer is such a force inside at 6'5" for the Royals. Draws foul number 4.
Well, you go with your best read. Pump fakes, takes it up there, and gets on top of Wildeboer before he can get his position. Wildeboer doesn't believe it. He picks up his 4th. 3:04 to play.
Reed, an academic all-stater, as Werger comes in and Sprouse goes out. Reed, the academic all-stater, to the line. His coach says he is absolutely obsessed with basketball. He and Hopshot spend hour after hour together in the gym.
Well, I think right now, Keota Eagles just a little fresher, played more people.
Reed has tied it. Now can give the Eagles their first lead of the game. 49-48. Keota on top for the first time. And coming up with a big steal, Bombi. And now the Royals have to play from behind for the first time.
Keota continuing to turn their offense. Look at the movement. That's why they've been getting open. Lanes get open for the penetration. Shots.
They are moving the the ball very crisply.
Right, and if Colo NESCO's a little bit tired, this is really going to take a toll on them right now because they're having to play defense all over and chase. The Eagles are really moving.
Taylor coming up with a big rebound, having problems though with it. Baskey, and the palming violation gives it back to Keota with 2:16 to go. The Eagles ranked 6th in the state. The Royals ranked 9th in the state. Doyle Miller, the Colo NESCO coach, needs a timeout. He gets it with 2:16 to go. Colo NESCO. And Keota, a one-point game with Keota on top, 49-48. Now this word from your local station.
Richard Mulligan, grape nuts?
I need my nutrition.
Well, you'll need 4 boxes to equal the vitamin and mineral nutrition in just 1 box of total.
You're kidding.
No kidding.
Ha shredded wheat.
Get serious, Richard. 12 boxes.
What do you eat all this with? A shovel?
Total, 1 bowl, 100%. That's more nutrition than any other cereal.
That's more like it. 1 box, 1 bowl, 1 spoon.
If it's whole wheat total, it's total nutrition.
Oh, what a meal, oh.
Hamburger helper lasagna.
For your family.
Authentic Italian taste.
Hearty robusto. But not too spicy, eh?
Hamburger helper lasagna turns your plain hamburger into a delicious Italian meal with authentic Italian taste. Curly Italian noodles, rich tomato sauce, and a better blend of spices.
Hamburger helper. Lasagna. Helper, hamburger helper. Make a great meal, oh.
Gary, we said it a moment ago, Keota's really taken advantage in the even-numbered quarters.
They certainly have. They struggled in those odds, the 1 and 3. Every time Colo NESCO would come out and really get off to a good run, but they battled back hard. And again, I got to emphasize, I think they're the fresher club.
Reed with his 4th point of the quarter, his 18th point of the game, and Keota, which had not led until a minute ago, now leads by 3.
Well, they've been putting pressure. Another turnover. I think he stepped out.
He did. Hobschide got the interception, standing out of bounds when he dished it over to Kindred.
Boy, the momentum turned here about 2 minutes ago, and it's all Keota right now. Here you see the step in. Late with their pass, he stepped right out of bounds.
But now another turnover the other way. The violation on the Royals attempting inbound. I think that's as painful as any turnover in basketball.
Well, right there with their situation, you got to be thinking about calling a timeout. They've got 2 left. Down 3 with 2:10 might have been a good time to take them.
Deflecting Britton. Once again, Werger tries inbound. That's Miller bothering him along the out-of-bounds line. But Reed's been a force. He's got the ball now. Reed 16 points in the game.
Well, they're going to run some clock, doing a good job of turning it.
Bombi in deep. 12 points for Bombi, and Keota goes from a one-time 7-point deficit late in the 3rd quarter to a 5-point lead with 1:45 left. I didn't mean to do it, foul by Werger.
That's right. It kills the clock. This is in favor of Colo NESCO, but I think Colo NESCO is not panicked. They're moving. They're coming down and shooting a quick shot. That range shot you can get anytime, and nobody on the boards. They're just 2 possessions down, but they got to regain their poise. I think right now they have lost it in the last 2.5 minutes.
Miller really wanted that 3 to go down. Emotionally would have given the Royals a big lift, but it did not. And now Keota with the ball, and will have an opportunity at the free throw line in the person of Brett Werger, following the foul on Brad Miller.
Well, adrenaline really flowing in this Keota kids. Here you'll see him, Werger coming down. Miller tries to cut in front of him and make the steal, desperate to make something happen. Just gets a foul. Doyle Miller, got to be anxious moments.
Assistant Steve Lively next to him. And they grow a little more anxious as Werger cans the free throw.
Oh, and you got good free throw shooters on this club.
And he is 6 out of 7 from the line. That's accounted for all of his points.
That's a big free throw because it puts it on 3 possessions, 7-point lead.
55-48 Keota. 1:28 to go. Down the lane, Baskey.
Well, you got to credit Baskey. You could see up here at about 3/4 court, he's going to take it all the way. He had it in his mind that nothing was going to stop him.
And there's timeout on the court with 1:22 left to play. A 5-point lead for Keota. We're going to keep it right here. All rights to the 1989 Iowa Boys State High School Basketball Tournament have been awarded by the Iowa High School Athletic Association to Duchess Walk Indications Des Moines. No rebroadcast, videotape presentation, or other use of this telecast is permitted without the express written consent of Tommy Thompson, executive producer, Des Moines.
You know, Larry, sometimes that's a good move to make. Forget about your offense and just take it to basket, because what other teams are thinking is don't foul, get back and be passive, and you can take it right in there. Start thinking 3 points too soon.
There's the voice of Doyle Miller that you heard there. And that's Scott Breeze, who has his team in front by 5 with 1:22 to go in the game. Coming up, the A championship game, Morris Orange City tries for back-to-back 1A titles against Northern University High of Cedar Falls.
Well, Colo NESCO has 1 timeout left, and again, we talk about timeouts here. Keota has to think about the same thing here. If you're going to lose possession on a 5-second call, get a timeout, save the basketball. The arrow in favor of Colo NESCO right now on the possession arrow. That could be a key.
Kindred will come in for his rebounding strength as much as anything.
Good job of Werger that time, breaking down the double team.
That is Bombi. Hot shot against the trap.
Oh, boy, he just missed it right there.
Almost a steal by Rasmussen, wasn't it?
Yep.
He came ever so close.
I think you have to go out and organize this press right now. They're running at people, and there's nobody there to double up. You need to put somebody in motion and then look to come to double.
Werger inbound, exactly a minute left. His team, the Keota Eagles, with a 5-point lead. A foul is called, and it's going to be against Keota.
That's a key foul right there.
Bombi caught on the push away from the ball. That is very costly indeed, because it gives Colo NESCO a chance to cut the margin without any time going off the clock.
That's right. It's a big call.
Baskey will go to the line. A 59% free throw shooter, has not shot a free throw tonight. In fact, the Royals have not shot a free throw in the second half.
I'm surprised at that free throw percentage of Baskey. I thought he'd be a better free throw shooter, but maybe he's a clutch free throw shooter.
Well, he may be. There's a certain indication of that all of a sudden, isn't there?
This is the big free throw, the second one, because now they're 1 possession. If he hits it, he doesn't get it.
Kindred, a big rebound. And he is fouled. So Colo NESCO will put the sophomore on the line with 58 seconds to go as Baskey fouls for the 3rd time.
Well, Kindred, a good rebounder, comes up with a key one there off the missed free throw, and a chance now to add to this lead with 58 seconds.
Coming into this tournament, and actually going into the season, Scott Breeze felt he needed help from 2 sophomores to be successful. Bill Kindred was one of them.
No good. Boy, he banged that up. Patience right here is what they need. They have to have a basket. Oh, that's a little quick. That's too quick. You got a lot of time.
Off the fingertips of Britton after the miss by Baskey, and the ball goes back to Keota with 48 seconds to play.
See what Doyle Miller is doing right now. He's making some substitutions on defense. He's getting his quick kids in there. If we can get a possession, get his offensive players back in. Rasmussen almost with the foul.
DeWitt and Taylor back in defensively. And the foul is called on Chad Taylor. Or make it instead on Matt Rasmussen.
Now you see the double switch here again. The offensive players will come back in.
42 seconds left. That man's club is behind by 4. And Keota will be at the free throw line.
Well, Keota will get Bill Kindred out there, but he's not a bad free throw shooter. Really, he's 73%, but that last one he really banged up there.
Werger, on the other hand, has been an excellent free throw shooter. 8 out of 9 from the free throw line tonight for Brett Werger. And now it is a 5-point game.
Well, for Scott Breeze and those kids on that bench, this could be an eternity these last 42 seconds.
Foul, I think, on Kindred it is. Kindred crashing in. And again, that's not what they wanted. They did not want to stop the clock.
No, you have to know when to come off right there. Isn't that critical to get that offensive rebound? You got a 5-point lead. You got to move the clock, come down, and hold NESCO with good defense. You do not want to give them these opportunities that they're doing right now. And there's the switch again. We got the defensive players.
Rasmussen and DeWitt come in for defense. And this stoppage of the clock allows Doyle Miller to make that substitution that he wants to make.
A lot of wheels turning here for these coaches right now.
I'll guarantee you. Boy, so many of the games of this tournament, the last minute and a half, have been thrillers. And for basketball fans who like to guess and think about strategy, it's just been a delight. So many things going on. So we're down to the final 42 seconds. The Eagles, looking for their first state championship on this, their first trip to the state tournament, have a lead of 5, and Colo NESCO is at the free throw line.
Well, and I think if Keota wins this, you really got to credit their defense in this ballgame. Let's listen. Larry, 2 good things right there. I thought he's reminding him, don't get in too quick, because you have to have the free throws. You can't take a chance of giving up the free throws with a violation. And the other thing was, don't make any intentional fouls. Be smart about it.
I think one of the fun things about this game, Gary, there are so many things. So many things that a team needs to be reminded of in the final minute. You have to tick them all off, don't you?
I know when I was coaching, when I first started, I saw so many things. I tried to get them all in at a timeout. You can't. You have to pick out a couple things that are important.
Britton misses the front end of the free throw, and then Rasmussen fouls immediately for Colo NESCO, as Keota will go to the line, and the Royals in a situation of having to foul to get the ball back.
Britton on the line that time, a 58% free throw shooter.
And again, the defensive players check out for the Royals. The offensive players come in. That's number 30, Brad Miller, along with number 32, Brian Wildeboer. Bombay to shoot the 1-and-1. Now this next one is a big one, because no longer can 2 3-point baskets tie the score. But they still can. But again, neither of these teams have had a lot of success this year with a 3-point shot.
Oh, that's right.
Trying it now is Miller.
Oh, I thought he might have blocked.
Wildeboer underneath. And another timeout will be taken by the Royals with 28 seconds to play. And it's a 4-point game. Right down to the wire, as so many games in this tournament have. 1.7 of the games have been decided by 3 points or less.
Now, one of the things you have to tell your kids, that unofficially anyhow, I don't know, but I think Colo NESCO is out of timeout, so you got to make sure that you tell them that.
Let's listen in on Doyle Miller.
Larry, just I think as we were talking, got into that huddle, I thought I heard him say no timeouts. Good coaching by both guys.
Both coaches coaching well indeed. Colo NESCO ahead the majority of the ball game. Keota takes their first lead on a couple of Chad Reed free throws with 3:26 to play. They have hung on to a very tenuous lead ever since. 28 seconds left in the Class A championship game.
Well, we mentioned again about the team that has been in the close contest in this tournament. They've played tough games to come away a winner, so they've been under that pressure.
Conrad tries to inbound. Rasmussen knocks it out of bounds off of Werger.
Boy, that's a big play by Rasmussen.
Down by 4, 27 seconds to play. And Gary, no reason to go for the 3 here, I would think. The Royals need a 2 in the worst way.
That's right. I would take it right into the basket. I'd take it on a drive. Basket. That's it. Take it right there. They're not going to want to foul you. See right there? They let them go. Now you got to set your defense. React quick. Somebody got lost. Going to have to get a foul. Oh, that might be intentional. See, that's what you can't do.
Baskey with his 4th. The last thing he wanted to do, you got to go for the ball.
Yep. You had time. 15 seconds. they're in a position where they have to hope. They had to wait and get the foul and hope at least that Keota would only make one of those free throws, and the best thing would be that they missed the front end of it.
Conrad hits the first. Only his third point of the game, but a big one.
Well, this can still be even bigger right now.
That's right, because it would be a two-score situation again for Colo NESCO if he hits here.
Oh, boy.
A 4-point lead for Keota with 15 seconds to go, and now a possession for the Eagles following the intentional foul.
He hasn't scored many, but those two might be as important as anybody else's.
And he's done some good work defensively also, he being Doug Conrad.
Well, he chased around Vasquez. As I said, I think they got tired because it's evident those shots come up short.
Good job of keep away thus far by the Eagles as they run the clock down to 6 seconds. Chad Taylor finally catches up with an Eagle to foul him. 6 seconds to go, but a 4-point lead for the Eagles.
That intentional foul really hurt because you give up the 2 free throws and also possession. That's the most costly foul you can have, is a intentional foul or a technical foul on the bench where you get 2 shots and the ball out of bounds.
Bombi with 14.
He's over for sure.
Keota by 5, 6 seconds to play, and the Colo NESCO Royals, I think, beginning to sink in what you just said, Gary.
Well, Scott Breeze, you know, as a coach, you sit there, we say it's over. But I've seen some strange things happen in a ball game. You know, where kids all of a sudden forget, might rebound on a missed shot, commit a foul. And, you know, those type of things can happen. And for instance, in this occasion, if that should happen, they go down, no time off the clock, make 2 free throws, steal an inbounds pass, and make a 3-point play. Now, people say, oh, what's the chances of that happening? Those things happen. And that's why this coach called timeout, Scott Breeze, to make sure he can do his best not to let it happen and this championship escape him.
The Keota Eagles have a lot to be proud of. They're proud of their scholastic work. They have 10 players on their 14-member roster with a 3.0 average or better, a team grade point average of 3.1. So they've been proud of their classroom work, and now they're equally proud of their on-the-floor activities because they are 6 seconds away from a state championship. School with an enrollment of 99 in Keota County, 40 miles south of Iowa City, and that young man, Scott Breeze, about to realize a dream come true. For Keota, the leading scorer, Reed with 16, Bombi has 14. And Doyle Miller now sends some substitutes in the ballgame, as does Keota. Number 33, Scott Flynn comes in. Number 21, Jeff Fair is in. And a curtain call for Chad Reed. Number 31, Brian Dahlquist comes in. The last starter left is at the line.
Well, Scott Breeze definitely thinks he has it made right now because he's getting some kids into play, a chance to say they played at a championship game. Nice gesture. With no timeouts, all he has to do is hold the ball out of bounds. There's nothing that can happen.
Vasquez. Miller on the tip. At the horn, it is history, and Keota has won the Class A championship. The celebration is on for the Eagles. Talk about defying the odds. They have to knock off the top 2 rated teams in Class A to get into the championship game. They don't get a lead until late in the 4th quarter with 3:26 to play. And then Keota wins the championship. That's the end of the game with the score. Keota 61, Colo NESCO 57. We'll be back at Beckman's Auditorium in just a moment.
Lottery profits create jobs. The Red Oak Die Casting Plant in southwest Iowa started with the help of 60,000 lottery dollars. 35 jobs will be created.
Thanks, Iowa Lottery.
Over 4 million lottery dollars are being used for research at Iowa State University. This program could help future Iowa farmers.
Thanks, Iowa Lottery.
And thanks, Iowa Lottery players.
No one knows my livestock like I do.
And I know every animal on the place.
I know what it takes to run a successful operation.
Hard work. Done the right way every day. That same old brine makes my bread and butter.
So you better believe I only work with products
and people who work the way I do.
Keota, the champs in Class A. Let's go downstairs to Mo Kelly.
We have your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, to present the trophies, medals to the players and cheerleaders, the top 2 Class A teams in the state of Iowa, 2 members of the Iowa Boys High School Athletic Association Board of Control. To my far left is the current chairman of the board, Dennis Pierce, Superintendent, Pocahontas, and next to Mr. Pierce is Robert Nielsen, Superintendent, Westside Arweva. Needless to say, another great tournament in this class. We have now determined the top 2 teams in the state of Iowa. We're happy to say both are young teams. We probably will be seeing them again in the very near future, right here on this floor. Our runner-up team has been here in the past. They've had a consistently strong program. Another outstanding year this year. We'd ask them to come forward now as our state runner-up, Colo, NESCO, the Royals, and Coach Doyle Miller. And what a week it's been for the Eagles. They stopped the streak, and in their very first trip to the state tournament, they are number 1, the Keota Eagles and Coach Scott Freeze. Next up is the Sportsmanship Award presented by the Iowa Boys High School Athletic Association, the Iowa Newspaper Association, and the Iowa Broadcasters Association. Representing those 2 groups this evening, Bill Williamson, KDTH, Dubuque, who is a member of the Iowa Broadcasters Association and the general manager of KDTH. And also representing the Iowa Newspaper Association is Darrell Beal, the publisher of the Indianola Record and Herald Tribune. At this time, Mr. Beal will make the announcement of our sportsmanship winner. Mr. Beal.
Since 1971, the Sportsmanship Award has been selected by members of the media, including representatives of the newspapers, radio, and television covering this tournament. Judging is based on you, the fans, the cheerleaders and band, the coaches, players on the bench, and players on the floor. On behalf of the Iowa Newspaper Association, the Iowa Broadcasters Association, and the Iowa High School Athletic Association, we salute you. The winner of the 1989 Class A Sportsmanship Award is presented to Colo, NESCO.
Peterson.
Ladies and gentlemen, a year ago, we instigated a new award. It's the American Federal Student Athletes Achievers Award. Each of the schools in each of our 4 classes nominate members of their school for this award, and a special committee chooses the winner of the award. Naturally, we had 8 nominees from our Class A field, 1 from each of the competing teams, and it's time now to announce the winner of the American Federal Student Achievers Award. To make this presentation, Mr. Charles Pierce, who is the chairman of the American Federal. He's accompanied by Phil Davis, a member of the American Federal staff. Our winner is very active in all phases of high school activities, athletics, music, student government, an excellent student, a good participant, and someone who shows a lot of leadership ability, very well liked by the peer group, very active in church work, and as we said, an excellent all-around student at Colo NESCO High School, and his name is Wayne Larson. And it's time now for the Class A all-tournament team. And to make that announcement, here's Gary Thompson.
Something a lot of players I know are looking forward to. One of them will be to have the governor of the state of Iowa, the Honorable Terry Branstad, present him their certificates. Here's your Class A all-tournament team. From Keota, Chad Reed. This may be a first, joining 2 other brothers as an all-tournament team members. From Colo NESCO, Matt Baskey. From Palmer, Iowa, Scott Martin. Congratulations. A teammate of Scott's, another member of the team, Jamie Peterson. And the fine captain for this team, from Colo NESCO, Brian Wildeboer.
And so there's the all-tournament team. Gary Thompson mentioning that Matt Baskey becomes the 3rd member of his family to be selected to that Class A team. The bad news for Coach Doyle Miller is he's the last of the line of Baskey brothers in the Colo NESCO area, but certainly that family's really distinguished themselves. As for Colo NESCO, in losing in this championship game, as Mo Kelly indicated, the future is bright. They had just 2 seniors started, so three of the players who started in tonight's championship game will return. Keota also has 2 underclass players in their starting lineup, and there is Scott Breeze as he watches the final moments and then culminate in a championship and a come from behind win it was for the Eagles. They didn't take their first lead in the game until 3:26 to play. Chad Reed led the way with 18 points. Eric Bombi hit 15. Again, the final, Keota 61, Colo NESCO 57 in the Class A championship game. We'll be back at Veterans Auditorium after this word from your local station.
Hardee's Garden Fresh Salads.
The kids did a super job. They hustled their hearts out, and you can't ask any more. They played well, they played hard, and they got the trophy.
These guys really dug down deep. They trailed most of the game until the fourth quarter. It just looked like sheer guts on their part.
Well, that's been our story the last 3 or 4 games. You know, we just hang in there. We try to wear people out. We try to use that full court pressure as much as we can, and sooner or later, in the fourth quarter, they start wearing out and they don't make the shots, and we start coming back. And when we get back in the ball game, it's ours because we can hit the free throws.
Was there a danger at all of having an emotional letdown after a big win yesterday over Palmer in a history-making game?
I thought we were down a little bit at the start of the game. Our first half wasn't real sharp. We finally got the full court pressure going, and it got a little fire back in their eyes. And once we got pumped up, then we knew it was ours.
I thought in the second quarter, Chad Reed was one of the guys that helped pump you up. He looked incredibly intense out there.
Well, Chad's just a super player. He does everything for us. He can score. And I'll tell you what, the rest of these guys had to be out here, too. The defense was the key tonight, the full court pressure and the defense in the second half.
How about that inbounds play in the fourth quarter that went to Reed? Was that set up by you?
Well, that was set up, but there's several options there, and Brett Werger's just got to look for one, and he picks the one he likes.
Pretty good. Now, this is quite a piece of hardware that you've got going here. Where are you going to put that?
Oh, probably in the front counter of school for a while. Show it off a little bit. Okay. Then put it in the trophy case.
It looks great. Who else we got here?
We do it.
You going to get tired carrying that around?
Yeah, real tired.
I kind of doubt it. Brett, how about you? Great game out there. You really held your own against Matt Vasky tonight.
It's a tough game. They're a really good team, and we decided after coming off beating Palmer, we thought we could win it all, and we did.
Okay, we got a great group of kids down here, Class A champion Keota Eagles. What number are you guys? You heard it right here. Back upstairs to Larry and Gary. That they are, Gary, and if ever one earned it, certainly Keota did, having to knock off number 1 and number 2 to get here and having come from behind in the championship game to do it.
Well, kind of nice being a number 6 seed and finishing up number 1. It has a nice ring to it for those Keota people. I thought one of the key plays in the ball game was Conrad's steal when Vasky had made a steal going down, looked like he's going for a layup. I think it was a 1-point ball game at the time, and he steals it back and comes back, and they end up getting a bucket and taking it up to 3. That could have got some momentum back for Colo NESCO at that particular time.
Boy, you know, that's how you win championships. You have a lot of great scores, but then you have role players, people like Doug Conrad, and that's what he is, the defensive specialist, a role player, and it's interesting you would pick that as one of the keys.
Well, there's always those type of players that can fit in. In this day and age, seems like used to have more of those type of players with less scores. You might have one big scorer per team and fit around. And now the kids are so talented and shoot the ball that you have more of that, but there's still a place for the role player that knows what he can do, play strong defense, guy that can come out and shut out. And I think the defense, I'm going to go back to one thing. I know Scott Breeze said their defensive play. I think that a factor, we mentioned that, was a turning point, but also the pressure that they put on Vasky out front and the other people. They made him move, and I think they were a tired group because the shots continued to come up short, and they weren't short by a little. They were barely getting there sometimes.
And so that worked, as you say. Maybe it doesn't pay off at the time, but eventually you wear the opposition down, and in the fourth quarter, it was a 21-13 Keota margin, and that's what propels them into the Class A state championship as they win by a score of 61-57 over Colo NESCO. We'll be back in a moment after this pause for station identification.
Al's in a 1-hour special. When the Tanners lose. Pointer Sisters, The Temptations, and
Millie, Miss Carmen McCray.